Night of the Horrified presents Fresh Popcorn.
Now, I've followed John M. Ware for a while now on Twitter. I've known about his film 3 Days Dead for about as long. Of course, like most social media interaction, I didn't pay much attention, and, that's my bad. Well, I never realized that his movie was the subject of a reality TV show on Sci-Fi. I also didn't realize that his film had been made a while ago, but like many indie films, it's been stuck in distribution hell. See, a lot of indie filmmakers get screwed over by big companies who sit on the rights and refuse to give them back to their filmmakers. Contracts and other shitty stuff hold the art back from the creator, who has barely enough money to begin with, so they can't really hire a great attorney or go through the proper channels in order to negotiate a good deal. In other terms, John and his crew got fucked hard and never called again. 3 Days Dead is a bare budget film. I mean bare budget. That doesn't mean it isn't good, as many people seem to think when they see the quality and budget of a film. It's actually really good, much better than it deserves to be, in fact. The storytelling is well crafted, and the cinematography, for what it is, does a real good job of propelling the narrative. This is a southern zombie movie, part comedy and part serious horror movie. In fact, it's like the southern version of Shaun of the Dead, to make a comparison. Only they have less money here. So what you get is much more impressive for such a low budget. It pisses me off when I come across films like this. I never saw the reality show, so I'm only basing this on the film I watched. But why the hell isn't this one talked about more? 3 Days Dead is a good example of the problem indie filmmakers have when faced with a big studio. See, these studios, for whatever reason, bury these films when they deem them not a source of pocket lining. In other words, 3 Days Dead wasn't going to be a blockbuster, so they told everyone who poured their heart and soul into this to go fuck themselves. So for the film itself, 3 Days Dead is a simple zombie tale, but it's injected with a bit of southern fried humor that sets it apart and keeps it from being generic. That doesn't mean it's straight comedy, like I said. It has a lot of heart. John and his crew work very well at not letting their insanely low budget keep them prisoner. You have scenes that are tense, action-packed, emotional, and of course hilarious scenes that take you off guard. The movie reminded me a bit of Redneck Zombies, only, like I said, not a straight comedy. But that one's a favorite of mine, and I'd suggest a double feature with that one. Now, of course, this film does have its flaws. Every project of this budget does. But when you get into it and you lose yourself, it legitimately becomes a good film. This brings me to my next point. Stop telling filmmakers they're wasting their time. John has been running a fundraiser to raise the money and buy back his film in order to distribute it himself. It's ludicrous to think an artist has to do this, but thanks to the big elite studios, here we are. So I saw where people were laughing at him. Fuck you if you've ever done this to a filmmaker. What you find ridiculous means the entire world to them. This was John's passion, and he needs help getting it back. That's why it's so important to support these filmmakers. Between big studios picking their bones and budgets with red tape keeping them constantly working, all they have is us horror fans. 33 Days Dead is a great little zombie flick with tons of passion, and I'm proud to say it is indeed a batch of fresh popcorn. This is the one film we've done on Fresh Popcorn that isn't widely available. So if you'd like to see 3 Days Dead on your local streaming service, or hell, even to purchase, chip in some money to John Ware's fund. You can donate by PayPal to rlspictures1@gmail.com. Now I'll include a link in the show notes, so look for it there. Be sure to also share the word as well if you want to see 3 Days Dead today. Don't let this movie continue to be buried. Thank you. And to all you filmmakers out there who thinks it's useless, it's a waste of time, whose family and friends are telling them to give it up and find something more useful to do with your time. Don't give it up. You're a filmmaker, and if you stay true to yourself and work hard, it can happen. And I'll do the best I can to make sure to spread the word about your movie. It's what Fresh Popcorn is all about. Peace, love, and horror, friends. Keep those cameras rolling. I'm Lee Evans for Night of the Horror File, and this has been Fresh Popcorn. If you want your project featured on Fresh Popcorn, drop us a line on Twitter or through email at horrorfilemailbag@gmail.com.